Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2016 Q4 ARCHIBUS Virtual Users Group presented by JLL Technology Solutions. We're happy you could join us today for our session. We're looking forward to a great lineup. Let's take a look at our agenda. As you can see, today is going to be jam-packed with information related to all things ARCHIBUS. We'll begin with a look at space utilization and sensor studies. Then we'll move into FASB compliance, followed by system health checks, and then a look into ARCHIBUS News and Nexus 2017. We'll finish today's session with tips and tricks. We have a great group of presenters today. These should be some familiar faces to many of you. Today we'll hear from Reeves Davis, Todd Hutton, Michael Taggart, Kevin Zimmer, and Amber Severson. All of these presenters are a part of the JLL Technology Solutions team, focused on the ARCHIBUS technology practice. So you're all in great company today, and we look forward to your questions, comments, and feedback. With that said, if you have any questions throughout today's session, please use the WebEx Q&A or chat features to log your questions, and we will try our very best to get to them. Now I'll turn it over to Todd Hutton to dive into today's virtual users group.
Good time to attend today. Everyone still hear me all right?
Yes, Todd, we can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so today we're going to start with the space utilization and sensor studies. The presentation today is really intended to be educational and introductory in nature. We're going to focus on why the industry is moving to a utilization approach versus pure vacancy tracking. And as Nicole mentioned, if you have questions, please ask via the WebEx chat or Q&A. So part of it is what is the issue? What is this not telling us? So we've traditionally managed vacancy versus utilization. Utilization is becoming quite important to control real estate costs as we as companies try to understand the impact of real estate on both our financial statements, and the public sector analyzes utilization of space to approve or deny funding requests. There's two different approaches there from a private and public perspective. Now, within ARCHIBUS, we're used to managing the capacity of a room, and we place employees in that space, and then we determine whether that space is vacant, available, meaning it has remaining capacity. Is it at capacity, essentially full? We can put 2 people in a room and there's 2 people in there, or do we have 3 people in that room and it's actually exceeding capacity? So while this is important from a vacancy perspective, we start to ask questions about utilization. So the example that we'll talk through here is Bob and Mary are assigned offices or anchored spaces. You'll hear that term a lot within alternative workplace strategies now. And this assumes that that room is occupied and therefore it's being utilized. But what we're finding is Bob and Mary may only utilize their offices on average 45% of the time. The industry standard for use of offices is 50 to 60%, right around 53% of office space utilization throughout the day. So how is the industry addressing this type of information once we've gathered it? One is an implementation of alternative workplace strategies, or AWS, where you have employees that are mobile, meaning that they come into the office only for certain meetings and they book a space. They're anchored, meaning they either have a dedicated office or an office that they share with 2 or 3 other people based on, again, that utilization information, or pure remote workers. We also look at, as I mentioned, the shared space for the anchored workers. And other areas that the industry is looking is the repurposing of space. So often in the public sector, if the space is not being utilized as the design intent, through utilization studies, we can repurpose that space versus getting new funding from public bodies to build new construction or modernize or renovate existing spaces. The other is shedding space. All of these items and how the industry is addressing it result in real estate cost savings. So what's the opportunity here? So what we found is that I don't think the idea of utilization is necessarily anything that's new, but what has happened is the technology is now enabling us and enabling the workplace to shift to more of a mobile shared economy. As I mentioned before, with an industry average of 50 to 60%, right around 53% desk use and 36% of meeting room use, the focus has really shifted away from vacancy into utilization.